Did you happen to catch the video of Neil Diamond leading the Boston Red Sox fans in Sweet Caroline? It was powerful. So good, so good. And if you missed it, you might want to log on to the YouTube and search it out. It was a true resurrection moment. A community of people who had been devastated with tragedy and despair, raised up with hope and new life. Here we had a people who had suffered terror and tragedy, and in their darkness, they leaned on each other, and we saw them there holding up signs that said, "Be one," and singing in one voice, hand touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you. And isn't that where resurrection happens? Isn't that what resurrection is all about? Where light dispels the darkness and love triumphs over hate. Hand touching hand, reaching out, touching you, touching me. It invokes images of Jesus reaching out and touching the lepers and the blind and the Samaritans and the woman at the well. Images of Mother Teresa wrapping her arms around and holding the starving children of Calcutta. Images of so many people in our own community reaching out with love and compassion and touching the lives of people in hospice centers and nursing homes and homeless shelters and food pantries. Hand touching hand, reaching out, touching you, touching me. This is resurrection, and it's beautiful. This is how Christ lived, with us and among us, and this is how the risen Christ lives through us and within us, using our hearts and our hands to reach out and bring love and compassion where it's needed most. I give you a new commandment, he tells us. Love one another. As I have loved you, so you also should love one another. And so the people of Boston stood and sang, and a whole nation stood with them and sang. When Neil Diamond addressed that crowd at the game, he said, I bring you the love of the entire country. And indeed he did, didn't he? Were not our hearts opened? Were we not with them? Did we not feel with them? Fear with them? Weep with them? Did we not pray with them and for them? In the darkest hour, we opened our hearts and we were at our best. That's resurrection. And it is beautiful. And when I hurt, the song goes, when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when I'm with you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. I love this faith. I find our religion to be enriching and fulfilling and profound. But unless we reach out beyond the boundaries of our own comfort zones and make a meaningful difference in the lives of others, unless we reach out and touch one another with God's love, it's all empty and it's all meaningless. This is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. This is how, if you have love for one another. It's not the Jesus fish and the bumper stickers on the back of our cars. It's not the rosaries hanging from the mirrors or the ability to recite all the luminous mysteries. That's all fine. That's all good. But this is how all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. I give you a new commandment. Love one another.